call of the Hawks can be heard all the way to San Francisco.
You're listening to Pod at the Palace with Curtis Wilkerson on Inside Arkansas.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Pod at the Palace post-game live reaction show presented by SARACEN, Arkansas's #1 sports betting app. Tonight, this will also be known as the Billy Richmond Appreciation Show, so everybody act accordingly. Curtis Wilkerson here with you as always. John Nabors pinch hitting, pun intended, for Andrew for a little while here as we dive into Arkansas's 88-75 win over Auburn at Bud Walton Arena. Don't be fooled necessarily by the final score. They played with their food a little bit, but it wasn't even really that close. If Darius Acuff didn't change his shoes half a dozen times in the second half, it would have been 20 plus. All right. But John, listen, I think we learned tonight that the Razorbacks are a little bit kinky. Who knew that they would be into belt to ass on Valentine's Day? What did you make of the game?
No, man, it was great to just, you've been 2 weeks without having a game at Bud Walton. The last time you had a game in Bud Walton, we know didn't go well. And we know last time you played Auburn, it didn't go well. So I know that we'll get into, of course, certain players not playing and everything, but it was a great performance. Arkansas gets the victory. You had double-digit victory. You covered the spread. You had great performances by a few individuals. I mean, there's a few things that we can be critical about and all that, but I'm feeling great. I mean, you're riding the winning streak right now, and it was awesome. It was awesome to be there, awesome to see it, and awesome to get the victory where Arkansas wins by 13. Yeah,
not bad at all. And, it felt like Arkansas had a few opportunities there at different points in this game where they could have fully put it away, blowout mode. And I thought they did. They had I think a kill shot each in each of the halves. It's like a 10-0 or more run. But they took control of the game in the first half. It got a little bit sluggish down the stretch. What was it, like I think a 15-2 run or something to start the second half? Darius Acuff goes nuts out there with the 3-pointers. I don't remember how much they got up by. I think 20 or 21. And then, I'm kind of making my way back to the house and I'm watching. I'm like, all right, it's down to 16. Okay. Down to 12, down to 9. What the hell is going on? Where is Darius Acuff? I was saying that. Everybody in Bud Walton Arena was saying that. John Calipari was looking down the bench saying it. Bro, where are you? And it turns out he just needed to change his shoes, I guess. That was kind of crazy.
Yeah, sometimes you just need that, man. Sometimes you just need a fresh pair of kicks in the middle of a game to come out and have another ho-hum 31-point game. I mean, it's whatever it takes, man, whatever he's got to do. But it's just, you talk about the Billy Richmond appreciation, which it's going to be. And it's just with Acuff, it's a great thing. But him getting 31, it's like, it just doesn't impress me because it's so normal. It's just such a normal thing for him. And again, just incredible. He had 7 assists on top of that, by the way, with only 1 turnover. It's unfortunate, but it's so awesome because he's just that good that this is just another day at the office for him. But yeah, seeing Billy Richmond step up the way he did, I think everybody was excited to see that.
Yeah, I was really excited to see it. I think it's awesome. He's blossomed into a star, man, right in front of our eyes. And it's crazy because when you think about Billy, I don't think about skill and everything like that. It's his energy and his effort, how hard he plays out there, and his defense. He's always been the guy where it doesn't show up necessarily in the stats. But it did in this game, man. That's got to be a career high, right? 25 points, 12 of 15 from the field. As excited as I am to see that, I'm also kind of like, chill out a little bit. Save it for March Madness if you're going to do it. But I would also like to be greedy and get you back next year. But if you keep doing this kind of stuff, we're not going to have him around. Nobody could keep him in front, man. And the crazy thing about Billy is, John, if you watch Malik Thomas or Acuff or whoever, they're dancing with you, like their crossovers, their dribble moves and everything. Billy doesn't do that, man. He just rips it through and it's a straight line drive and he is faster and more athletic than you. And he gets downhill and he is explosive. I don't know how many dunks he had in this basketball game, but he could probably fill the SC top 10 by himself from this one alone. It was crazy.
Yeah, I know he's athletic. We've seen that athleticism last year, and we've seen it at times this year. But just because of the circumstances and the minutes that he's played, there's been people that, myself included, is like, why doesn't he play more? And because of injuries and whatnot, he's gotten his opportunities. And it's just kind of like, is this something that he showed all year long and in practices and stuff, and it was just not a fit? Like, it just makes you wonder why he didn't get as many minutes, or is it something that just clicked for him suddenly? Was it a matchup thing? I don't really know, but every single time, and he went to the rack, you just felt great about it. And it's not like there was just someone standing in front of him. I mean, he just blew by guys, not even just big men. We're talking about guards, like guys who are supposed to be on the outside and have great lateral movement. Didn't matter. If he can continue to do that, which I know teams will adjust, but man, if he's doing that type of thing, that opens everything up offensively to where they could really, they're already a great offensive team, but they could really stretch the floor and really cause some havoc for some teams.
Yeah, they absolutely could, man. And it's funny because I literally just did the thing where I think it was on Inside Arkansas Live with you and Andrew. I was like, when Carter comes back, it's he'll find his minutes and everything, because Billy, he plays too hard. He's never going to be a 30-minute per game guy. Like, give him his 25, 26, and he'll be fine. And he goes out there and plays 38, and he's still just running laps around dudes at the end of the game. Maybe he has escaped his cramping issues that were like a game-by-game thing last year. The dude is in tremendous shape. That battery is like always running on full charge. It was crazy. So you got Billy, who does the things he does, 25 points. I don't know if anybody had that kind of accounted for in there. Acuff goes for 31. Arkansas makes 8 threes in this basketball game, and he makes 7 of them. Sure, fine. Good by me. That's awesome. We had a little bit of a scare with him at one point where the dude landed on him or something on his foot or his ankle, and I'm thinking, good Lord, here we go. Then he comes out of the game in the second half, and it's like, what's really happening here? I'm going to be anxious because it's got to be Acuff and Billy at the podium after this game. What was the deal with the shoots? Because he changed them at least twice there in that moment. It was wild. I'm going to hit you with a trivia time. I don't know if you got the stats in front of you or not, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Who led Arkansas in rebounding in this basketball game?
Well, because you asked, because there was a time in the game when I looked up and saw that Malik Thomas was leading for a second.
Okay.
Because I was looking up at the scoreboard. I didn't look at the stats, but I looked up at the scoreboard. I think it was like with 10 or so minutes left. And I think it was probably after the third or fourth straight time where Arkansas just didn't get a rebound for some reason.
They were good at that.
Man, and I just looked up and I was like, does that say Thomas is leading the team in rebounds more than Pringle, more than Ewan, more than Brazil? It's like, in one way, you may be like, man, what a hustle thing. But at the same time, it's like, that's kind of annoying. But yeah, how about that? Malik Thomas, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Nick Pringle, 1 rebound. Malik Ewan, 1 rebound. Malik Thomas, 10. Why not? 10 rebounds. Sure. And of all the games for him to not score double figures and get a double-double, this is the one. 8 points, 10 boards from Malik Thomas. Nice work by him. With Auburn, obviously they were down Keyshawn Hall, and that's it's a massive piece for them. He scored 30-some-odd points on Arkansas last time, and he does that to, like, everybody. He's really good. But there's a reason why he got benched, first of all. Second of all, he don't make up for it on the other end of the floor. He's not a defender. So I was kind of worried about Auburn being better defensively in this game and having some taken away on offense. The only way that Auburn was going to be able to win this game or have a chance to win it is if Tahad Pettiford was great, and I thought he was. He had 29 points and 7 assists. He was really good. Arkansas couldn't guard him. And somebody else is going to have an out-of-body experience. I thought Keyshawn Murphy looked like JT Toppin, man, in the first half. I was like, what are we watching, bro? I've seen this dude at Mississippi State in the past. I've watched him all year. He's fine as a player. He averages like 10 and 5 or something. They couldn't do anything with him in the first half. I was getting pissed, John. And listen, I'm back up in press row, so I got to calm down a little bit. It was getting a little bit uncomfortable for me. They did a lot better on him in the second half. I think we only had 4 points in the second half, but good grief, man.
Yeah, I was trying to think of which time I looked at it, but it's the same thing when you just look up at the scoreboard and you see the stats. And I think it was when Auburn had 30 points in the game, and 28 of them were by 2 players. And it was just like, okay, Pettiford, like you said, all right,
sure.
whatever. But Keyshawn Murphy, really?
I think come on.
It was from the Last Dance when they said some player had a great game against Michael Jordan. They're like, some days it's just your day. That's how it kind of felt, where it was just, hey, this was just his day. Luckily, it was nobody else's day, really, for Auburn, except for Pettiford and him. But, yeah, very, very frustrating to where, again, it's not like, not having your best player is not an impact. But the only reason this game was even remotely close in any capacity is just because of the performance of 2 players offensively, and that was it.
Yeah, Arkansas's kind of had a thing at times this year of not being able to slow down star players a little bit, and that was certainly the case in this one. But obviously, if Keyshawn Hall would have played, those guys wouldn't have had all those shots. Like somebody had to take them. It's kind of like, like to a lesser degree, when DJ and Carter aren't playing. I know they don't take as many shots, but like Acuff and Leak look at that and their eyes get big. They're like, oh man, all right, it's more for me. I'm going to eat a little bit. But that was the other thing about Arkansas. full strength in this game. I don't know if all those guys were quite 100%. Let's see. DJ Wagner winds up playing 6 minutes. He kind of did what I thought they were going to do with him, where it's like, hey, just give the guards a little blow here or there. Make sure that they don't have to play 40 full minutes. That was fine. Carter was the one that I thought they were going to get more out of, and he was okay when he was out there, but then looks like he hurt himself again. Yeah. And I'm going to be anxious to hear what Cal has to say about that. I guess Auburn scored. He was taking the ball to inbounds it, and he just slipped right there on the floor. And then he was holding that knee, and he walked off, and he went back to the locker room. So all eyes on what that conversation looks like there. I thought he was moving around fine and stuff in warm-ups, and he was playing hard when he was in there, shaking off a little bit of rust. But dang it, that's one that you need there if you're Arkansas. So hopefully we don't get any discouraging news from that.
Yeah, because here's the thing, Curtis, as you know, Billy Richmond played awesome, and we know that that's kind of in that position that Carter Knox has been playing, and we know Carter Knox has been a starter, and I think everybody's excited about Billy, excited about the way he's played, excited about the way Arkansas has played and everything, but that still does not just mean, okay, well, hey, if Carter's hurt or if it's significant, then that's just totally fine, no big deal. It's like, no, it is. Like, you want to have all your guys at full strength, because there's going to be times where, as much as we love the way Billy's played, there's going to be a game where maybe he gets in foul trouble. Maybe it's a bad matchup. Maybe it's something, and you have to have another option. And so that's what, you can't just look at Carter Knox. And obviously, I know no one's hoping he's hurt or anything like that, but you just can't blow this off as just no big deal, whatever. If Carter Knox can't go, you need him. You need everybody to be full health as much as possible. You need everybody to be playing well. And I just hope, like you said, that Carter's going to be okay, because we know that he's dealt with it a little bit at the very beginning of the year. We know he's been out, obviously, the past couple of games. And then when he comes back, to see that happen, it just makes you wonder, has it ever been healthy this season? And maybe that's why he's had the issues when he's had the issues. So I'm hoping it's nothing too serious, but yeah, definitely not something you wanted to see.
Yeah, I want to see the replay on that again too, because and he slipped, so it was a little bit awkward, but I didn't get the sense that he like twisted it or anything like that. It looks like he maybe landed on it pretty hard, and maybe it was sore, but I was encouraged to see, he had the leg sleeve or whatever on, but not like a big bulky brace or anything like that. You remember how Devo used to wear the headband and he'd take the headband off or whatever? We had Malik Ewan start the game in the mask, was not playing to the level of a basketball player who's worthy of wearing a mask, got benched, took it off, and then I thought he was better after that. But I didn't even expect us, John, to get masked Malik Ewan on Valentine's Day, but we did for at least a brief appearance in there.
Yeah, I was laughing because when he walked out there, I mean, obviously he's dealing with that injury that he had. It's like, oh, okay, immediately everyone's like, Rip Hamilton. It's just throwing it out there. It's like, oh, look, it's Rip Hamilton. It's got the mask. And I think it's always funny because some guys, I think it's even what happened with Rip Hamilton. He's like, he just started playing really well and got used to the mask, so he just kept it. But then I feel like more often than not, you try the mask or you try a headband or you try something, and the second that you don't feel like you're playing to your best, you take it off and it's done. So, yeah, I was kind of wondering how long that would last, because if Ewan would have played well in the mask, hey, he would have just kept it the whole time. But once he took it off, I was like, all right, yeah, he's totally not comfortable. I mean, it's the same guy that doesn't like to tuck in his shirt. So, he doesn't like to have that mask on his face either.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine playing any sport or even walking around with one of those masks on. It's got to be uncomfortable and awkward. And to my knowledge, he didn't break his nose or anything. And that's literally why you wear those things. So I don't know. I'm sure he didn't want to get that thing split back open and have to get like restitched or something, but that was kind of weird.
But he also had like when he took it off, he just saw like a little Band-Aid, like literally just a Band-Aid on it. Like, all right, so it's not like this huge like gash that's in there. So yeah, maybe it was just for safety precautions. Maybe it was, just trying to give it a go. But yeah, not saying that it wasn't a significant injury. It's just, I felt like maybe the mask was overkill considering how it looked after the fact when he took it off, and he just had like not saying it was a little boo-boo, but it looked like just a regular Band-Aid on his head.
Yeah, for real. Okay, so Arkansas wins this game by 13 points. That's a good thing. I guess the line closed. Actually, I don't know what it closed at, but it got up to like 8.5 after the Keyshawn Hall news. So you covered that pretty comfortably. It's nice to have a drama-free Saturday, especially as we know with Razorback basketball. But listen, it's not the three best teams in the world that they played, but coming off of this bye week, you've played 3 games. You've essentially blown 3 teams out. You've done a lot of good for yourself. And you look up now, Arkansas 19-6 overall. They're 9-3 in the SEC, John, just one game behind Florida right now, who you get to play. They're in sole possession of second place in the SEC. Not bad. Not bad.
You know what my favorite thing, I'm glad you brought that up, Curtis, is this guarantees that you will not have a losing season in the SEC because you've had 3 straight years of it. And now you just guaranteed yourself that at worst case, which you're not going to lose out. I mean, you're not good, but just you made it to where you're not going to have a losing season in the SEC for the first time since, I guess, 2022. So thank you for that. I'm glad for that. And that's, it's incredible, man. 19 wins. 9 SEC wins, only 3 losses. Yeah, I'm taking it all day long. Got some tough games ahead. We know Bama's next on the road, so I know you'll talk about that and everything. So, but
I can't wait for that game. Yeah. Cannot wait for that one, man.
It'll be awesome.
That game is tailor-made for Billy Richmond. It's going to be a lot of fun. Will both teams score 100? Maybe. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, this is great. And you're right. I didn't even think about that. So Arkansas goes, 8-10 in the SEC last year. It feels like it's been their favorite record to get. So already ahead of pace in their conference wins. They have matched their regular season win total from last year already. You still got plenty to go. This is fun, and I like being in a race for a conference title here. Florida looks really good. I know they popped Kentucky to game. I shouldn't say pop. That was actually a pretty good game between them and Kentucky. But I felt like they looked vulnerable in there. I understand people are seeing Florida right now and they're going, well, they're just the class of the SEC. They're the Final Four contender out of the SEC. Maybe so, but that backcourt could sneak up on them. I think when Arkansas plays Florida, there's a very realistic chance that they're still within a game of them, and that would be a monumental matchup whenever it happens. So I'm excited about it, man.
I think we talked about it. Maybe it was on Inside Arkansas Live, or maybe y'all did on Pod at the Palace or something, but it was like kind of forecasting, like, hey, what if that Florida game, the winner of that, like, kind of comes down to the SEC regular season champ? You got some work to do. Both teams have some work to do before then, but considering the circumstances, it very well could be. And I'm with you. Florida's really good. I'm not going to predict Arkansas to beat Florida unless something crazy happens, like some major injuries or something like that. I'm not going to predict it. I'm not going to expect it. I'm not going to be mad if they don't do it. However, if you told me that Arkansas goes down to Gainesville and wins, I'm not going to be like upset of the century. Holy crap, I can't believe they pulled that off. Arkansas is good enough to beat them. It'll take a lot. It'll take a great performance literally by the entire team, but it's not this, and I don't see Florida as one of those like teams like we've talked about all year, like Michigan and all that just feels like they're an absolute unstoppable force. I think they're very beatable, and I think Arkansas, if any, has as good of a chance of beating them down in Gainesville as any team, especially in the SEC.
Yeah, you need to hit threes to be able to beat them, and Arkansas can certainly do that. And you need to not turn the ball over, because when Florida gets in their half-court offense with those guards, they can't shoot. They're fairly guardable. So Arkansas has that going for them because they don't turn it over to fuel that transition. The only thing, you can't give up a million offensive rebounds. And as good as Arkansas has been playing offensively, they've been great after the bye. Defensively, I think they've been much, much better. Dang it, you got to grab some defensive rebounds. And I know Auburn missed quite a few shots tonight. They only shot 40% from the field, but 15 offensive rebounds. Murphy's athletic. I know Auburn's, I think they're top 10 in the country in that. But earlier in the year, when people were complaining about it, was when it wasn't even really a thing. Like they were keeping Houston off of the offensive glass, and they kept Texas Tech off of the offensive glass. But now it's low key. It's actually not even low key. It's high key, major key, a problem. That's kind of the one wart I feel like they still need to figure out. And if they can shore that up, then maybe they can keep rattling off some wins here. But that was, I think we would both, if we had one critique, that would probably be at the top of the list. Secure the defensive rebounds. It hits them in the hands, man.
And see, that's my thing, Curtis. It's like, it's one thing where if you just look at the box score and, and you see a bunch of rebounds, it's like, oh, okay, that's annoying. But it was, if you watch the game and seeing the amount of times that Arkansas, and I'm not just calling out one player. I mean, it was whether it was Pringle or Ewan or Brazil, your bigs, the amount of times they had one, and in a lot of cases, 2 hands on the ball, 2 hands on it. And I think there was one play where I think it was maybe Brazil where he just had it and it just went out of bounds. And it's just, you cannot do that, which I know Arkansas still won. And like you said, critique is a small thing for a performance like this. But that's the type of crap that got you beat last year in the NCAA tournament against Texas Tech.
Exactly.
And so you just got to figure that out. I know, and these are veterans, man. These are big veterans that's been around. I know they know how to rebound, but golly, it's thank goodness for the performances of Billy and Acuff. Like you got so much greatness that you can overcome things like that. But good grief, there's going to be times, man, where especially in the NCAA tournament, if I don't know if I'll be able to live with another early exit or exit out of the tournament, blown lead, whatever, because you couldn't get your dudes to rebound the freaking basketball. It just can't happen, man.
I know. And so between that, because you'll defend really well and you'll force a contested shot and you get a miss, it's like, hell yeah. Offensive rebound, a new possession. That's tough. The other thing that is almost guaranteed, I feel like, because Arkansas blocks a lot of shots. They blocked 10 more in this game. It's almost like every time they block a shot, it falls right into the opposing team's hands. And it's just like a little 3-foot shot right there at the rim. And it goes in every time. That stuff drives me nuts, man. It's like you work so hard, you make a great play, and then the easy part should just be closing it out with a rebound, and you don't do it. Oh, well.
Yeah, and I think I don't know exactly. I don't have the stat in front of me as far as the second chance points that Auburn had. I guess it would be
15 they had.
Yeah, 15 offensive rebounds and 15 second chance points. Like if Arkansas would have they again beat this team handedly. I know the score was 13 points, and it was probably more than that. But Arkansas beats this team by 30.
Yes,
get half of those rebounds and half of those, because again, that doesn't even include the block shots, as you mentioned, going back into their hands. Like just the small things. You're not going to get every single one, but it's you have big dudes who are veterans. There is no excuse for the poor rebounding that this team kind of continues to have. And yeah, luckily didn't bite you in this one, but you know it could bite you against Bama if you don't shore it up. Like it'll get you beat in a lot of games. You could in one possession games at the end. Like if Arkansas loses to Alabama by a point, and you think you're like, well, they had 12 or 13 whatever second chance points. It's got to eat Cal alive. I know it does.
I know it does, man. Because what is he gonna? How many times is he gonna say in his post game? You got to go grab balls. It's like that's a choice of words that come out of your mouth every press conference, but he's right. They kind of have to do it. You said there's no excuse for it. I tend to agree. Farmer Don has one. He says it's like they eat buttered toast before every game. Maybe that's exactly what's going on. I don't know. But John, I want to keep you just for a few more minutes, and then we'll let you get out of here. I think the baseball game is almost over. It's also a bunch of Q&A, so it's going to get into the X's and O's, all the crazy basketball stuff. That's all good. Maybe you can even grab me a clip or two. I don't know. But before we get you out of here, I have to ask the question, because I'm at the game and I was sitting up there in media row, was hanging out, and I had a general idea of where you were sitting because you told me. You said front row.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And so I'm thinking, well, I'm gonna try to find him, and then maybe I'll go down there and see what he's up to. I'm looking around, didn't see you. About 5 minutes before I left, I'm looking over at Auburn's bench, and I'm seeing all them in their gray quarter zips. I'm seeing Stephen Pearl, and I'm like, is one of their assistants? Is there like red on his shirt? That's a choice, whatever. No, that's John Nabors right behind the Auburn bench. First of all, how the heck did that happen? Second of all, I know you've got something cool to say about what you witnessed.
Yeah. Shout out to Rich Robertson. Appreciate the ticket. Good friend and awesome dude. And he was kind enough to hook me up with some great seats. And I had never sat at that spot, but man, I'll say this. I was surrounded by some guys that first off are big fans of ours. So shout out to them. And also that they were getting after it, man. They were heckling pretty good. But I'll tell you this, like Stephen Pearl once, I kind of started rooting for the guy because this guy was just giving him, he's like talking about you're tarnishing your family's legacy, like kind of like messing with him a little bit. But like Stephen, like he would just kind of turn around and just be like, I thought it was a foul, like looking at our group and stuff. And then one of the guys just like, hey, thanks for being a good sport, coach, and turns around, just gives him the thumbs up. So like there were some pretty interactive moments, but I can tell you, there was some frustrations on there, obviously. And you could tell that I'm not saying that they didn't want to win and didn't compete, but it's almost like it felt like they knew without Keyshawn, they're just, hey, if we can just kind of keep it close and maybe mess around. Like it was, and even towards the end, which I think was like maybe 2 minutes left, Stephen Pearl, I think it was a 12-point game, not saying that they would have won, but he like called him off, said, hey, don't foul, which is like, again, you like it as a Razorback fan, you could say, it's enough, but I don't know. I just felt like it was a type of game for them where they know that they're in a tough situation. They know without their best player, they know how good Arkansas is, and just to kind of do your best. So I thought it was that. I thought that the energy was pretty intense over there at times, but yeah, it was just it was a very interesting thing to see how like Stephen Pearl handles it and some of the players and the energy there. But I'll give Keyshawn Hall credit. I mean, he was very engaged. Like he was very engaged with the team. So
that was going to be my next question, because I had, given what we know, I mean, it's not an injury. And Stephen Pearl said this in their pregame radio. He was like, hey, this is a violation of team rule. Like, he's not holding up the standard of the program. He's suspended indefinitely. It's up to him when we bring him back. And I'm like, that's crazy, brother, because you are a rookie coach that's trying to escape nepotism allegations, and your season's spiraling, and you're about to be 14-11 and 5-7 in the league, and flirting with the bubble, and you're benching your star player like that. But that tells me whatever Keyshawn Hall said or did must have been pretty bad, because if you're trying to, I get it, like you got to preserve culture or whatever, you can't lose your team, but that's a bold choice to make there. I have a feeling, I don't know who they play next, but he'll probably be back. I was surprised, I guess, to see him. I got there like 90 minutes early or whatever. They were out there shooting around, and I saw him sitting at the end of the bench, and I was like, wow, they did put him on the plane and drag him over there. If I was trying to send a message, I would have left his butt at home, but I guess they were trying to maybe humble him or even embarrass him a little bit. It's like, here, you got to watch your guys play. You can sit on the end of the bench in street clothes and deal with it. But yeah, that was a wild situation, man, for sure.
Yeah. And I know, again, like what I'll do, Curtis, is I'll get some clips and then come back and join you and do some,
I like that.
But real quick before that, the other thing is that you could tell from the coaching staff and the players with Acuff, they're just like, what do you do? But the other one is every time Billy touched the ball, every time Billy Richmond touched the ball, even before he started going off, they were just saying driver, 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 driver. They did the scouting report, and there was nothing they could do. They just kept driver, driver. Didn't matter. So
doesn't matter.
Like they scouted him. They knew what he was. The team knew what he was, but it didn't matter. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's actually hilarious. Imagine how irritated you have to be as a coach or even a player where they've probably been screaming that all week in practice, Eric Musselman used to do the crazy things over the like the loudspeakers or something to emphasize certain players. And that's the thing with Billy, who I'm pretty sure his first shot was an airballed 3.
Yep.
I think.
Yep.
Yeah. And then after that, it was just I'm getting downhill and there's nothing they can do about it. You can scream it all you want. It's just a fact. And I'm going to continue to do it. So that's pretty cool, man. That's good stuff. Well, John, thank you, my friend, for hanging out for a while, and do your thing. And when you hop back in, if I see you, I'll bring you right back.
We'll be back in a second, man. Appreciate it.
Sounds good. Appreciate it. Let's talk about real quick our friends over at Fight House. Place is cool. Arkansas might have been to Fight House. They might need to send the big men in there so they grab more than 2 combined rebounds. But at any rate, it's Northwest Arkansas's #1 boxing, MMA, and strength training gym, built for athletes, competitors, and anyone ready to push their limits. From high-energy boxing and MMA training to free weights, elite cardio equipment, sleds, and cross-training, Fight House Gym delivers everything you need to train at the highest level. Whether you're a seasoned fighter or just starting your fitness journey, this is the gym that meets you where you are and pushes you further. It's not just a gym, it's a mindset. Fight House Gym is now open at 10131 Webb Way in Fayetteville. That's exit 58 off I-49. Sign up today at fighthousegym.com or call 951-623-9745. Step inside and bring the fight. All right, let's get back into it here. We're going to get into your chats and see how everybody's doing. Appreciate everybody for hanging out. I said on the Pod the Palace pregame show, we are going to learn a lot about you guys in this one. It's Valentine's Day. Did you plan accordingly? Did you handle your business the right way? I told some of you that we would plan the date for you, right? You could take your date to the hottest show in town, a palace. Girls are into that kind of thing. It's going to be an exciting show. It should have a happy ending. It did if you got down to Bud Walton Arena for this basketball game. But outside of that, you got to be adults, right? You got to take care of your business early. I suggested brunch for everybody. Guess what I did with the wifey? Because I knew I had to work this evening. It was a brunch, flowers, the whole 9 yards. I feel like we did pretty good. But we're going to get into the chat now. And I know the baseball game is it over? Is it not? I know it was tightening up. I was trying to keep an eye on it and listen and follow the basketball game at the same time. Let me know how it went. I know it's been a little bit dire over there. It's a top 10 matchup, though. It's a lot to be excited about. Let's get into the chat and see how everybody's doing. We've got Hogs by 94 says 2 happy endings in one night. Great day to be a hog. Hogs, it might depend on what you mean by that. Okay. You got it with Razorback basketball. I don't know if you're going to get it or not with Razorback baseball, but there is another way to achieve that. And it doesn't involve being the owner of the New England Patriots and going to a weird massage parlor. So appreciate the super chat nonetheless. From Fred Smith, thank you. He says, Acuff is Acuff and Big Bad Bill is Sweet William now. Yeah, we're going to have to come up with like infinite numbers of nicknames for Billy Richmond. That was crazy. And we always have moments with Billy, right? And I feel like Cal coming into the season, he was almost trying to force the Billy Richmond thing on us. Not that we didn't appreciate Billy and he's a fun player and all those things, but every time he get in front of a microphone, he's like, well, I mean, Billy Richmond, he's everybody's favorite player. He gets the loudest ovations. He's the Billy Goat. We're like, we've never called him that, but maybe he knew something that we didn't. And the way that he's emerged the last several games since he got put back into the starting lineup where he should have been all along, mind you, but I'm glad that he's there now. The last couple games on the road, he was starting to get into his bag of tricks a little bit more, wasn't he? Scoring around the rim, showing some touch, a little bit more off the bounce. It's like, oh, wow. He's got a little bit more to him when he doesn't have to play the, fourth fiddle when he's out there. And now he's kind of emerging into a star, man. So it's a lot of fun to watch. I want to see real quick. Let me look at the box score and see how many steals did that man get, because I feel like that was the catalyst for a lot of what he did was 2 blocked shots and 3 steals to go along with everything else. But when he was getting out in transition, it's crazy. And I know he had the windmill, which was crazy. He threw some lobs down that were really impressive. Maybe the best one for me, I want to say it was Malik Thomas that threw it to him. It was way, way, way off the mark. And Billy wasn't even inside the 3-point line yet in transition. I'm like, where the hell is he throwing this basketball? There's no way he's going to get to it. He did. He just flew out of nowhere, caught it, and did like the up and under reverse on the other side. It's like, how did you do that? It doesn't make any sense at all. So really, really fun. And then, yeah, it's kind of like John said earlier, Acuff, it's Acuff. It's just kind of what he does, man. It's just a casual 31, no big deal. 7 more 3-pointers, 7 assists to 1 turnover. It's just kind of what I do, but we'll let the draft nerds continue to be mad because he's only 6'2". Let's see what else we have here. The student section pod. Appreciate it. Says Keyshawn Hall talked too much post game just to duck smoke. Isn't that something? And I know a lot of Razorback fans, when we found out last night that Keyshawn Hall for sure was going to be out, on one hand, you could be like, well, good. We've been down a couple players, so maybe they need to miss their best guy and we can just handle business and it can be drama free. But there were a lot of you, and I respect this from the Razorback fans who hit my comments that were like, hey, I'm kind of upset that he's not playing because we want that get back at full strength. And he was the one who was talking after the game about it was personal because they didn't recruit me as hard as the others in the portal. We know that he's wanted to be a Razorback a couple different times. Maybe there's a reason why he's not. That's a bad look. Think about your best player. He's averaging 20.7 points per game. Acuff, I think, was averaging 20.8 coming in. Could you imagine John Calipari having to suspend Darius Acuff just for being a knucklehead? That's a tough look, man. And especially given where they're at in their season. But I kind of wish we would have had that. Probably would have been a little bit more stressful tonight if that was the case. But, Hickory Hog, appreciate you again, says Billy deserved that, and it was awesome to watch. And Darius Acuff Jr., ever seen a pig on fire? Sheesh. I have seen pigs on fire, not live pigs, but pigs that are getting smoked a little bit. Billy did deserve that. He did. The ultimate teammate. If you think about the course of this season, and we know that he's an unselfish player, and he's not in it for all the accolades. He's a competitor. He wants to win. There's just a level of toughness to him. He's got that Memphis in him, right? And he says that, and that's fine. But it can't be easy to always take the back seat. And Billy's a better man than me, because if I was in Billy Richmond's spot and I'm hearing John Calipari say after every game, well, we got to get Carter going. And I keep telling Carter, if you want good things to happen for you, just play more like Billy. Do the things that Billy does, whatever. And I'm sitting here the whole time, if I'm Billy, going, yeah, but I'm the example. I'm doing all those things. So, maybe it could be my time to shine, coach. I don't know. But he doesn't think that way. He doesn't operate that way. He's not selfish. He's just out there trying to win. And even if he doesn't know the guys that he's playing against, you feel like he hates them, right? He takes it super personally when he's out there. And you're absolutely right. It's a good observation. He deserved this more than anybody out there. Just incredible. 12 of 15 from the field. How he only shot 1 free throw is crazy to me. But at the same time, would you get in front of Billy Richmond? Would you challenge him at the rim? I ain't doing it. There was a lot of business decisions out there by Auburn on defense in this game. But he was awesome, man. I'm very, very happy for him. And Darius Acuff Jr., it's it's unreal. I love how I think coming in the game, my bold prediction was that Arkansas's freshman guards were going to combine for 8 3-pointers. They didn't. They only hit 7. I did not think all of them would come from one guy. And that's something I'm kind of watching with Malik Thomas, who was a little bit off offensively in this game. He only got 1 3 off. I know that they're making an effort to get downhill, get to the rim and everything like that, but it's like that's kind of your best trait. And one thing that I appreciated from him was he's going to get those volume attempts up there, and I want him taking more than 1, but I also don't care that much when Darius Acuff goes 7 for 10. That was that was insane. And it didn't matter what pair of shoes he had on to do it, apparently. So good on him. Let's see, what else do we have here? Heartbroken Hog, Hickory Hog, Heartbroken Hog. I hope you're not heartbroken tonight. You doing all right? Am I your Valentine? It's kind of weird if that's the case. I'll be your Cupid. Like, I'll shoot the arrow. You just let me know who it needs to hit. Acuff plus any other hog having a game can beat anyone. Yeah, I think you're right. And the beauty of it is Acuff is pretty much always going to have a solid game, even when he's bad. We thought he was bad the last time they played Auburn, and he had 19 in that game, and he was almost 50% from the field. But yeah, I mean, when you have something like that, it's just you just need a Robin to the Batman, a Luigi to the Mario. In this game, it was Billy Richmond. That's awesome. A lot of times it's been Malik Thomas. Trevin Brazile is capable of being that guy. Could you imagine what it would look like if maybe you had 3 or 4 of them in one game? That might be what you need to go beat Florida on the road. And it's possible. At any point, they could do that. How many of them do you need to beat Alabama on the road? I think you would need Leak and Billy. Billy just to be – it's going to be a chaotic mess of a game. That's how Alabama plays. So if he's kind of doing his thing, he'll get his numbers in there. You got to be able to match the firepower that Alabama has. They're going to hit threes. We know that they are. And even the ones that they miss, they'll probably get the offensive rebound and shoot another one. That's just kind of the way that this works. You might need to beat them 110 to 108. So you're going to need Malik Thomas to be firing them up there too. And it's kind of why not kind of why I really do hope that Carter Knox is healthy enough to be out there, because he's a guy that can help you from that standpoint. I hope DJ is a little bit healthier, because it's as fast paced and chaotic as that game is. Not only do you need to be able to give Leak and Acuff a little bit of a blow, you might need to play 3 guards for a little bit. You might go small because Alabama's not that big. You want as much flexibility as you can possibly have. I got to be honest with you, I wouldn't necessarily mind seeing Isaiah Sealy getting there a little bit. You know, if Carter's hurt. I was not expecting Sealy to get any run in this game with Arkansas back at full strength, but I listened to, Coach Z. You always got to listen to Coach Z before the games, and he was kind of talking about that. Like, hey, they've been really impressed with Isaiah Sealy. Is he going to get some burn? I usually read between the lines a little bit. I'm like, all right, well, if Z mentioned him, he might get in there. He didn't. I hope this isn't the end of his run, though, because he's been really impactful for Arkansas here over the course of the last couple weeks. We got Ryan in here. Ryan, I appreciate you being here, man. I know you we're pulling double duty. I always look at your tweets to see what kind of vibes you're bringing to things, and you were watching basketball and baseball and everything going on at the same time. But it says Wupik Sui gave up way too many offensive rebounds. Agreed, 15 is too many. But our dudes were better than their dudes. Billy is a freaking demon. Acuff is a stud. TB hung tough. TB had a sneaky good game, I thought. Only 11 points, but that's that's not bad. It's just shy of his average. I wish another one of those threes would have fallen. I feel like he got some good looks in there. He was only 1 of 5. 7 rebounds, all defensive rebounds. That's great, man. Like, if Trevin can give you 7 defensive rebounds, you're in a good spot. 0 offensive, though? Come on, guy. You're 6'10", you got a 7'4" wingspan, and you jump 40 inches off the ground. You can't get 1. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, he also went and got 4 block shots. So he continues to impact things around the rim. He was good for sure. Let's see. A couple more chats here, and then looks like John's pulling up some clips for us, so that is good. Derek says, Billy MF and Richmond, Darius MF, Acuff. That is all. I mean, listen, what more can be said about those two guys? What do you guys think about the Valentine's things that they put out there for the guys? Some of them corny, some of them are okay. We might do a review of those on tomorrow's show or something. But At any rate, let's see. Looking at which clips I should play. We're just going to play a couple of these and see what happens. John's got a few of them. Let's go right here and see what Coach Cal had to say about the game.
Last couple games. If that's who he is, we're really good because he's playing rougher. He's going and getting balls. He's finishing, makes
going and getting balls. You don't say. It's his favorite. It's his favorite phrase. I don't know why.
A couple threes. I mean, and then Malik Thomas gets you buckets when you need it, bucket getter. But how about Billy Goat? This is crazy. What I love is when he's introduced, people go crazy. And it's because he's averaging 25 a game. What? No. He may be averaging 10 a game. But this building absolutely loves him because he just plays hard. He goes on to the next play. He has amnesia, but he's playing with so much energy and passion. We get it. See, body language screams. So when you have bad body language, it screams to your teammates. And now all of a sudden you have bad starts, you miss a shot, your head goes down. Can't be that guy. No one wants that teammate. This kid, what he's doing right now, he's good. And who's 6'10", can go block shots, rebound, and make threes, and is good with the ball? Again, I've had a lot of really good teams, but I've never had a team that has the low turnovers like this team. We had 19 assists and 5 turnovers. 5 turnovers. And it ain't like we're playing slow. Like we're flying. We're making plays. If it's a 70-30, 60-40 chance to be good, go make it. We're not saying it's got to be 100%. So, but it was, we're just getting better. Now, I'm going to say what I said out there. The next 6 games, we could lose all 6. They're all going to be ridiculously hard. I knew this would be a hard game. They beat us. They were up 30 down there. So, now we move on and have some really hard road games. You ready for this? Really hard home games. I'm just going to go one game. Our next game, I don't even know who is after Alabama. I know.
Stop it. You know exactly who's after Alabama. Really good stuff from Coach Cal. I want to play one more here. I'm guessing we probably didn't get too much, but a little bit of a Carter Knox update.
Billy's one of the players that I've coached, and I've had a few of these. Wherever I play him, he's fine. I bring him off the bench, but you can't bring him off the bench now. How do you
Did y'all hear that? That's what everybody's been waiting to hear, and it just came straight from the man's mouth. Billy Richmond locked in as a starter, as he should be.
Why? Because I like somebody better? It has nothing to do with that. How we're starting games and starting halves with him in there makes a difference. I like him and Carter together. I like those two on the floor together. And that, if going forward, that may be something that we try. Even putting TB at some 5. We can do it. We can move and around. But DJ and Carter are going to be fine. Carter tweaked his knee, slipped on some whatever down there. But, all right, thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, guys. Just letting you know what happened to our player there. No, that's good. It said they're going to be fine. Doesn't seem like he's really concerned about that. It's one of those deals where, like when Acuff, I think when he got hurt or we thought he got hurt or whatever, it's you feel something, it scares you in the moment. You don't talk about having the air sucked out of the building when Acuff was, down on the ground like that. And he's so tough too that, when he's screaming, you're just thinking, oh God, here we go. But then he popped back up because he's Detroit made or whatever. But decent enough to hear for Carter. They got, I think Alabama's a Wednesday game, so they'll have that extra day built in there, and that's a good thing too. But I agree with a lot of what Cal said there. He's right. I mean, these next 6 games are going to be really, really tough. They're not all like, I think he said the other day, they're all against the top of the league. That's not, that's not exactly true. But when you got to go to Alabama and you got to go to Florida, those are going to be really difficult. Everybody else is at the bare minimum fighting for their lives right now. If you think about it, like Texas is going to come in here they're going to be very, very much on the bubble. That's a team that's going to give you their best shot because it's like, hey, if we can go win at Fayetteville, we're in there. That's Arkansas could be the signature win. Missouri is probably feeling the same way. You got to play them twice. As weird as we think they are, it's kind of a tough place to play when you go over there and face them in Columbia. So there's that aspect of it. Who else they have? A&M, who I get it. They've kind of fallen off the wagon. They've lost 4 straight or something. It's been tough selling for them. I think that maybe buckyball is not sustainable over the course of a full SEC season unless you have some real dudes. But that's going to be a hard game. Like Arkansas is going to have to be super, super locked in when they get into it. That is a fact. What's also a fact is that you need to check out OZK Insurance. They're the real deal, an independent insurance agency, and they have taken things to the next level here in 2026 with this full-service mobile app. Just look at it. Ain't she a beaut? Man, with the OZK Insurance app, you can see all your policies under one roof. That's home, auto, whatever it is you might have, plus pay bills, request roadside assistance, file claims, request policy changes, or even get new quotes, all from the convenience of your phone. If you're tired of being stuck with one carrier or chasing down paperwork, go to ozkinsurance.com or search OZK Insurance in the App Store or Google Play. It's a local agency with national level options, one powerful app. That's OZK Insurance. We're going to get John back in here in just a second. We'll get back to your chats and make sure we get to all of those. But I'm curious to see exactly what the mood is going to be like, because I knew that this baseball game was coming down to the wire, and I legitimately have no clue what happened. Do we have good news? Do we have bad news? Do we have any news? No.
Bad news.
Dang it.
I know. It's trying to make it to where it's like, no, but you lost 5-4. And I think you ended up leaving about 12 runners on base tonight, something like that.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
53 games to go, I guess.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, man. There. Yeah. Okay. Was there anything else cool that you heard from Cal that we need to play here?
Yeah, actually. So it's funny. I can't wait because I think I'm going to make a compilation. He had some really great Calisms again. Just
it's wonderful,
classic ones. But I will say I'll go ahead and play one of these because it's I believe. Let me make sure I get the one right here. But he's talking about just the development from Billy and what he's been able to do. And I think that it was just, talking about, he talked a little bit about him in that opening, but I think he went a little bit more in depth here.
Nice.
He knows who he is. You got other guys that they want to be something that they're not, so you don't look as good. He knows exactly who he is. He does. And he plays to his strengths. I wish every player would do it. They don't, because they get coached by everybody telling them, here's what you need to do. How about you just be you? Some guys should just be great rebounders. I'm going to go be double-digit rebounder. For a long while, the number one rebounder in the country always got drafted. You want to get drafted? Be hard. That's hard. No, let me just shoot balls and do different. I could really pass. They're not taking you because you can pass. But if you're the leading rebounder and they know you'll go get balls, you'll get drafted. So he knows who he is. And again, he's one that if he screws up, he'll say it. Come on, Billy. My fault, coach. We got other guys. I tell her, go to your bathroom, look in the mirror, and say, I'm sorry, my fault. And no, it ain't like a stab in your eye. You can admit you're wrong. That's on me. I love coaching him because I know what I'm getting. Doesn't mean he makes every shot, every free throw. He doesn't. But you talk about the energy. I know what I'm getting from him every night he plays.
Beautiful. I mean, and you heard it here first, kids. If you want to go to the NBA, go get balls, right? Yep. Just go get them. I love that stuff. I'm going to start looking in the mirror every morning when I get up, like a little motivational thing, and just be like, be like Billy. That's going to be my new motto. Be like Billy. I never will, but I will. I'll never stop striving for that type of greatness.
Well, and it's fun to hear just Cal say the things that we kind of all see about the energy and about what he does. But when Cal's on when he starts having, he's a few words in the press conference tonight with interesting accents. I don't know why, but it's just kind of what he does. But yeah, I mean, I love just hearing, and I'm sure Billy, I don't know if he's somebody that wants that appreciation. Maybe he does, but just to see that he's getting it from Cal, and Cal's like, hey, look what he's doing, and this is why he's doing it, and this is why he's getting those opportunities. It's really awesome to see. I was going to say, go ahead.
Oh, well, if you find another one there, that's awesome. I was just going to say real quick, like with Billy, I know we talked about this a minute ago, but with every one of these performances, man, his price tag to return is just, we're adding a zero here. I felt like coming into the year, you'd be in a really good spot about getting him back. And I know they got some really, really good freshmen coming in here, but you obviously want some retention. And it's crazy how you think about all the dudes who could possibly come back for you. And I don't know that I expected Billy Richmond to be at the very top of my list, because I was thinking like, JJ Andrews and Abdou Toure, those guys are in ways similar. Like they're physical, they're athletic, they're great effort guys, defensive players. It's like, well, if Billy moves on and, he winds up having a great year and getting drafted, then that's awesome for him. And I still feel that way, but I'm feeling increasingly greedy, man. Like I just pay the man whatever you need. And I said this a little while. Oh, it was during the bye week. I guess I was doing like a who could they return type of segment, John. And I said, and I wasn't even that big of a fan of him as a player, but year 3 Billy could take the year 3 Herb Jones arc. And because the first 2 years for him, he was just the junkyard dog. He was a really good defender. He scored when he wanted to. Then year 3, he pops off. He's SEC player of the year. And then he goes and he gets drafted. He's in the league. He's got a role. That could be Billy Richmond in year 3. And I want him back.
Yeah. I mean, listen, he was the guy that, and I mean this with love, of the 4 guys you were returning this past year, he was kind of the 4th of like, like on my list. Yeah. Cause you wanted Carter back, number 1, Brazil, obviously, how he played. And then DJ, because obviously the point guard play and everything, but Billy was just kind of like that. Yeah. And it would be nice to have him back, but I'm with you. It's like, now it's just not nice to have him back. I want him back, and I want it bad. And I just think that the way he's developed, man, the sky's the limit for what this guy could do with another year of development for it too. So
yeah, no, it absolutely is. You have another clip here for us?
Yeah, just real quick. This one's got some good Cal-isms. He was talking about the difference in the game and the start of the game, and also comparing this to the last Auburn game and what was the difference there. And here's what old Cal had to say.
Well, the first 5 minutes of the game, the only problem was the first few, we took 2 threes to start again. Stop it. Like we're shooting threes to start the game. But the start of the second half was the difference. And that's what we've been working on, the start of the game and the first 5 minutes of the half. Let's get those under well. And after that, you get up 19, 20, 21, they got to make every shot, and you got to miss every shot. So, it's how we play. They were more ready, more desperate down there. They were more physical. We were trying to avoid contact back then. We've gotten better. The two-a-days after the game last week, where we had a week to practice, and I went 3 days of two-a-days, kind of started changing our team. We call that, I try to do it, it's called Camp Cal.
Yes.
Here we go. We're going twice a day.
Yes.
Camp Cal, baby.
Cal. Dude, you have no idea how happy I am that he finally said that. BBN is going to be so pissed after hearing that. There were so many things when Cal got hired where all those fans over there were like, get ready for this, get ready for that, get ready, million different Cal-isms. And Camp Cal has been the one that I've been waiting on, especially with this team, and we finally got it. Yep. That is it changes the, like you said, it changed the team. What do you want?
And that's what made me excited, is because I'm with you as far as one of those terms getting mentioned. It's like, all right, it's almost like a bingo card. When do we finally get it mentioned?
Yeah.
And to hear Camp Cal, I was like, man, that is, because I'm not saying this in a bad way towards Cal, but it's just funny because it's almost like a way of like, hey, what's changed is a decision I made to do something, and that's what's made the team better. And it's probably, and it could very well be true. But it was like, that's his opportunity when he was, asked about the differences in this game and what was the difference. And it's like, we did this, we brought in Camp Cal, and look at how much better we're playing. So, I mean, I love that, man. I love it.
Turns out the man knows what he's doing. How about that? And he's been a busy man too. So they had this 2-game road swing. They come back home. They're practicing. Yesterday, he flies out to the DMV for the Jordan Smith Jr. commitment. He's at John Paul VI doing whatever their version of calling the Hogs is their little rally cry and everything. You sign another McDonald's All-American, you fly back home, you win another SEC basketball game. The dude's nonstop. And so I just, the narratives continue to kill me where, cause I just remember the people saying, well, he's tired. He doesn't work as hard as he used to and everything. How hard did he used to work? Cause I feel like the man is always on go. He's like the Billy Richmond of coaches in terms of, it seems like his battery's never really running low, man. It's crazy.
I know. And it's like, we talked about Muss, we always make the comparisons, and Muss was just a madman. The guy was, lifting weights on no sleep in the gym, running a million miles an hour, just never stopping. And it's like Cal, I'm not trying to compare them as far as their physical health or anything, but it's like Cal does so much. And a lot of it's, of course, you got to give tribute to helping out with assistant coaches and the staff and everything. But it's like Cal does not have the approach of was he 66, 67-year-old man. Like he just does not have it. I think what his best thing is his management of time. Like I think that he manages his time extremely well when it comes to how much he puts in on practice, how much he puts on film, how much he puts in on, all right, well, I got to go recruit this guy. Like his management of time, I think, is maybe one of his vastly underrated things. We don't get to see it a whole lot because we just don't, not like following him around in life. But I think because of how he's been able to have the success and then, of course, recruiting and knowing how successful he's been in that, I think his time management is one of his most impressive features.
And then he gets home and he gets the trash to the curb.
Most
So
thing.
that's always number one on the priority list. No doubt about it. We got a bunch of super chats, so we're going to get into these and do a little bit of rapid fire, and appreciate everybody for hanging out with us here tonight. Seth, we thank you for the super chat. He says, well, there's one hard conversation for the SEC tonight. Who gets SEC player of the week and who gets SEC freshman of the week between 3-point annihilator Acuff and rim ripper Richmond III? That's really good stuff right there, Seth. I got to say, yeah, I need to go look at what some of the other SEC players did this week, but Acuff's going to get the frosh. There's no doubt about it. But they could go one of two ways. They could give Acuff SEC player of the week. I don't know like what Nate Ament or whoever did, or you could just give Acuff the frosh, and you would have to give Billy Richmond a pretty strong look for player, because he was really good in the LSU game also. It's not outside the realm of possibility. I know I don't know who played really well for Florida or whatever in their big win today, but both those guys have to be in consideration. Billy Richmond, he's going to get the Pot at the Palace report card MVP honors, and that's a bigger deal than the SEC awards, but we'd like to see him recognized by his league.
Yeah, honestly, he needs a banner for that, because I was just going to say real quick for Nate Ament tonight or today, he did go for 22 points and had 9 rebounds.
Okay.
But he did shoot 6 of 19. So a lot of free throws. So yeah, you got to give it, dude. You got to give it to Acuff. It's got
we value efficiency around here. Squealy Dan says down William Blue Pig Suey. We got a lot of these. I'm seeing Ryan's in here. Starter Carter is done. Give Billy his flowers. Billy gets his flowers for sure. Starter Carter is that's actually, that's pretty decent work. I got to give you credit where it's due. Andrew likes cardio Carter when he's out there for 18 minutes and doesn't do anything, but starter Carter is pretty good. Cool Beans says, did Billy earn that GOAT tagline this game? Yeah. I mean, I'm in for it. They used it for the Valentine, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking like, if you would have said, hey, Billy's going to go for 25 points, 12, 15 from the field, and only shoot 1 3. And he missed it. So it wasn't like, oh, you just hit a couple threes to add into it. And also, too, Curtis, I know you're talking about, he had 1 free throw. Just one. So it wasn't like, Nate Ament, we just talked about him, 22 points. He had 10 of 11 from the free throw line. It's like, no, Billy went for 25 because he went 12 of 15 from the field with 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 block shots, and 3 steals.
It's insane. It's truly insane. I'm pulling this up right now because I want to know in real time, how many dunks did Billy Richmond have? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dunks for Billy Richmond. I felt like it was more than that, to be honest with you. That actually feels a little bit light.
Because one of them was a windmill dunk. Did he do the windmill?
Yeah, he did the windmill.
Yeah.
Arkansas was 8 of 8 on their dunks. God, I really felt like they had more than that. 16 of 22 on layups. So they were really, really good around the rim. Nice. Yeah. Unreal. Okay, let's see. We got Hickory Hog says, Malik Thomas, 10 rebounds, 8 points. Who would have ever guessed Leak would be lacking points for the double-double? I know we touched on that earlier, but that's nuts. And I would have said Leak, would you have said he was more likely to get a points assist double-double or a points rebounds double-double? Maybe rebound. I don't know, though.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I would think rebounds just because Acuff's going to have the ball in his hand so much more. Yeah. But still, I would have been like, yeah, right. There's just no way that Malik is going to be getting 10 rebounds. I'd almost not say for sure I do, but I was like, I almost think that he'd have 10 steals further than he'd have 10 rebounds.
I know. Yeah. And this is always funny to me because I realize things that I have said in the last 24 hours that have made me look stupid. And it's like I was doing here are my favorite prop plays from Bet Saracen, which, hey, check them out. It's Arkansas's #1 sports betting app. All right. But I was looking at him. I'm like, if Arkansas is getting healthy, you think about the guys that you can really rely on no matter who's playing. It's like, so it's your freshman. But I was looking at it and I'm like, oh, I like the points for guys like Acuff and Leak, but it's always attached to rebounds. And I don't know, those guys don't really rebound that much, so I might stay away from those. Well, it turns out we should have stayed away from Leak for his points, and he goes out there and gets 10 rebounds. It's just the way life works, man. This team loves to make me feel stupid. Appreciate him, though. We've got No Name Matt, and I think Michelle actually found the chat that he sent. Or I thought she did. Maybe she didn't. Maybe it was somebody else. I don't know. Matt, thank you for the super chat. And if we're able to find the thing that was attached to it, we'll go with it. Might be Mike is in here, says, okay, baseball, we don't have to, we don't have to rehash it too much. But I do like the Woo Pig Sooie. Acuff is that dude. He certainly is.
Yeah.
Derek, Acuff got so hot he literally melted a pair of shoes right the hell off. Were you still in there for that whole situation, or were you watching the broadcast at that point with Acuff?
I think because I left with about 5 minutes to go in the game. So
okay, so you probably were in there when all that was going on. I was driving back home as it was happening, and he was just standing there at the end of the bench, and nobody really knew what the hell was going on. Like, somebody went back to the locker room, and then he was talking to Matt, the trainer, and it's just like Auburn continues to whittle down the lead. And at one point, Cal even looks over there because then Acuff runs back to the locker room. Cal's looking down the bench like, where's Darius? And I'm like, I don't know. But then he comes back out and he's got different shoes on. You could see him. He was down there at the end of the bench with Sealy and Amari and Aiden Kelly and everybody. He was literally asking these guys what size shoe they wear. He was trying to get somebody's shoes off their feet to go into the game. Then he comes back out in the black ones. Fine. He's back out there on the floor. They immediately go to a media timeout. They come back from the break and he's in a different pair of shoes again. So I don't know if he just busted out of them or what the heck happened. The other ones he didn't like, but that was a wild sequence there. And I'm yelling in my car because it's like, no disrespect to DJ or what, get the kid back in the game. Like, you're going to piss this lead away if you're not careful. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but hey, that's when you know you're great, when you can just say, nah, I need the right shoes, and that way I can just go out there and play. And then in the middle of the game, just change shoes back. All right, no, these are the white ones. It's like, dude, just hand me a pair of tennis shoes and I'll try my best. It's like, no, he's like, no, I got to have the right shoes because it makes the difference. And it did.
Yeah.
Absolutely did.
Yeah, he comes right back in there and starts sticking more threes. So Dayton, England says, had the Hogs by 12.5 on Bet Saracen. Those free throws at the end there almost cost me $112. Well, I'm glad that you were able to avoid that. That's a nail biter. That's a nail biter for sure. Mason McMillan sent us a super chat also, and we appreciate that. I think Michelle might have actually had that one. She sent me one. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, Windmill Bill. That's what he called him. I'm glad that we found that. That's worth $9.99. Windmill Bill. Are you in for that? Does that one work for you?
Dude, again, because he's so good at dunking. We've seen Trevin Brazila do windmills and stuff, but Billy, dude, I want to see his catalog of what he's got for dunks. I want to see more of those breakaways. Is he just the windmill guy? Can he do the rock the cradle?
Yeah.
Can we do under the legs? I don't care, but yeah, that's Windmill Bill is really great. I'm down for that.
That's a good one. That's a good one for sure. And you're right. Now that you've shown this bag of tricks, you've got to spice it up a little bit. It's like with Trevin. when he does an in-game windmill now, we're just kind of like, all right. It's like, it's like Carter going and doing a one-handed dunk or something. We just kind of expect that. So, you might have to spice it up a little bit, but you got to make it. If you get into your bag of tricks, you can't miss. From Joshua Byers, he says, seeing U.S. Reed brought back great memories. Yeah, they showed him in the crowd either during or before the game, and they showed, the play there on the broadcast towards the end. So that was cool. It was good to see. We've got Mason McMillan back in here. Oh, okay. So he actually followed up. So good. Yeah. Windmill Bill. There we go. Mitch's Britches, one of my favorites, says watching Malik's poop-eaten grin when he pulls in a rebound is only overshadowed by the feeling I get when Billy picks a pocket and has a clear runway. I saw Stephen Pearl like deflated. It was like he was a balloon and somebody popped that balloon. And you probably got a firsthand look at this. One of those in the second half where Billy, it was Kevin Overton that he picked. And Overton he didn't even make an attempt to run back in transition. It wouldn't have mattered, but it's like you turn and run anyway. It's kind of a thing. But he stood there. Not one single Auburn player got past half court to the point where they almost got a 5-second call because nobody came to grab the basketball out of the rim. Stephen Pearl, I thought he was going to melt into the floor. I actually felt a little bit bad for him at that point because that's like, you quit. And they wound up like playing harder the rest of the game or something. But in that moment, I was like, oh my God, he's going to lose. He's going to pull a Chris Beard and put all the walk-ons in. It was wild, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's truly just felt like Auburn tonight, especially with, of course, your best player out. It was like your chicken's head with its cut off, or a head of the chicken when it's cut off. Like it was just, you didn't know what to do. It's like, oh, we don't have our best player, so what's the point? It's like, what's the point of even trying? And we'll see how the rest of it plays out. But again, it was I actually am rooting for Stephen Pearl the rest of the way because I did like his personality out there. But it was very strange. It was very weird there on the bench. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I could only imagine. Someone's son says I'd draft Billy first round just off hustle alone. Easy. All right. Let's not put that out there into the ethers too far. Hairless Hog, a hog of his word, is a $5 super chat after every Razorback win. Says sweet, sweet revenge and hi, John.
Oh, hey, Hairless Hog.
Yeah, what a nice turn of events, man, to have John in here hanging out. Which, by the way, I don't want to speak for the man, but I imagine you're going to have a bombastic recap at some point tonight or in the morning to get all the details on whatever just happened against TCU. I'm very much looking forward to that because, got to be honest, I was at the game, the basketball game, and then we've been doing this post-game show. I was kind of following StatCast a little bit, but I have no idea what happened. So I'm going to be interested to hear Andrew's takes on that. You guys make sure that you check it out. Tuna's House says, Razorbacks are red. Keyshawn Hall is blue. We got the Billy Goat. Sucks for you. Acuff finished strong with that black Air Force One energy.
Love it.
Well done, Tuna. Thank you.
Has Billy Richmond just become the most various nicknamed Razorback basketball player of all time? Like, I think we've gone through 4 or 5 new ones today.
I'm afraid so. Yeah. We might have to, that might have to be like an alumni hall question of the day. We might make a poll out of it or something with all these good nicknames that we have.
Yeah.
And we're not even going to include Billy Goat. That's old news now, Cal. Sorry. We got some new options here. So Quinn is in here. Quinn, good to hear from you. We were exchanging messages during the game. He says, holy shit, we only lost by 13. I was done with that 3 minutes into the second half. Thought I was going to look and see we lost by 30. I don't know how long you've been in here, Quinn, but you would have lost by 30 if Darius Acuff could find some shoes that felt good on his feet. But no, you're about the time you messaged me and you're like, I'm not going to waste any more of my night on this. They fought back. They fought back a little bit. So I don't know if you're into moral victories or whatever, but that was a thing.
No, real quick, too, Garce. It makes me laugh from the another observation from Stephen Pearl. Favorite thing, I think it was when Acuff hit his. I forgot how many threes Acuff hit in this one. He hit 4 in this. Yeah. No, he hits. Oh gosh,
Acuff hit 7. Yeah, he hit 4 in the first half. Or whatever.
I think it was the 4th one that he hit, though. Maybe it was the first half. But Stephen Pearl just turns and looks at the bench and goes. I was like, he even knew. He's like, what are you going to do against that guy? I mean, he's just
and he the first one he hit was on a good play, so he got an open look. I remember the second one that he made there in the first half. It was like a hand down, man down. Like he was just kind of walking his guy up to the 3-point line, and he was backing off, and Acuff popped him. the third one was like this crazy. It's like the 2-man game he was in with Pringle, and he just read the flare screen. There was nothing you could do about it. That might have been the one where it's just like, that's one of the toughest shots I've ever seen this kid hit. He did a lot of that. Then he was dancing with guys and hitting in their face. I mean, he's really good. What else? What the hell do you want to say? I mean, it's nuts. He might be. I'm gonna look this up real quick in real time. Has he overtaken Malik Thomas now in the 3-point race? He has. Yeah. Wow. So Malik Thomas is 50. He has 55 makes. He's shooting 39%. Darius Acuff has 60 made threes and he's 43.2%. That's crazy, man.
Dude, I
Good
mean,
grief.
Again, I know everyone knows how amazing he is, but it's like, like tonight is such a great example of like he hits threes and everything. The man had 31 points and he still found a way to go out there and still get 7 assists with 1 turnover.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and even Cal, we don't have to play a full clip, but like one thing Cal said in another clip too, he says, for what it's worth, he says he has never had a team in his entire coaching career that turns the ball over as little as this team does this year. He says he's never seen anything like it. 19
assists, 5 turnovers. You're just not going to lose basketball games when you do that. Holy cow, man. Yeah, that's really impressive. OKC, good to see you in here, says Acuff and Billy carried. Our bigs have to rebound better, but good win. The draft experts are crying right now. They had Acuff far outside the lottery. He's a lottery pick. I know it's like Razorback fans, we want to, hey, maybe you should draft Acuff over Cam Boozer or whatever. I get it. But he's definitely a lottery pick. So those folks that I still see the updates where it's like, oh yeah, we've got him as a fringe first round guy or whatever. You're just idiots. Get out of your spreadsheets and watch the kid play basketball. It's crazy. But you're 100% right, man, about the bigs having to rebound better. And here's the thing. It was frustrating tonight. The last couple games, it was a lot better. Like Trevin's been rebounding like a madman. Pringle's been a lot better rebounding. Ewan's got to pick it up. But this is one of those nights where you kind of reverted back to some stuff with your 2. You can't get 2 rebounds out of your 2 centers. That's not good enough.
Can't have it.
Let's see. Ryan, I think this is a good question. Is Darius Acuff the front runner for SEC Player of the Year yet? Well, he's certainly past Keyshawn Hall because he, his situation there. Who else would be in this conversation is the question. Tyler Tanner at Vanderbilt, everybody loves him, but you have to look at it. We'll see how the season plays out, but Arkansas is ahead of them in the standings, blew them out in the game. Darius Acuff dominated the head-to-head, so I'd have him ahead of Tanner. LeBaron Philon at Alabama, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
They get to face each other on Wednesday. We'll see what that looks like. I think you got to look at the Tommy Houck dude from Florida, he's a monster in there, but front runner, I don't know, but I don't think there's a great argument for anybody to definitively be ahead of him right now.
I'll say this again. A lot of games. How many games left? 7 now at this point, I think?
6.
6. Okay. Assuming that the final 6 games go on trend and everything. If Darius Acuff does not win SEC Player of the Year, this will be, of all the shafts that Razorback basketball players have gotten, this one will be the most egregious one, and it won't even be close, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You want to give something for Razorback fans to be pissed about. That would definitely be it. This would be, I mean, it'd be far worse than Mason Jones. At least with Mason Jones, the team stunk.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, gosh, dude. I don't know. We'll see. Hickory Hog says, Stevie Pearl had the look of the I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed dad the whole game. He kind of did. You're right. He kind of did. Mm-hmm. Poor guy. I'm going to be anxious to see, because I was getting a kick out of the last couple of days. Like when the Keyshawn Hall stuff was coming out, I'm like, I'm going to go check out their message boards and see how they're feeling over there. And people were just kind of done with this experiment. I'll be anxious to hear Quinn's thoughts on how this is headed. I know he's a Stephen Pearl defender or believer or whatever, but man, people are getting pretty angry. If they don't make the tournament, they're not going to do anything this year, but they're just going to be on thin ice going into next season. Walla Walla Hog says, Razorbacks, shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. This is fun. This is stuff we get into on Valentine's night,
Say we got poetry coming into play in here and stuff. It's like writing love sonnets and stuff. I mean, I'm here for it.
Yeah, sure, man. Why not? This it is fun. I'll give you that. Big Shafsta says Billy's a stud. Need him to play right field for the Omahogs. No bombs over that fence. Do you have context you can provide to me for that?
I mean, I assume he's talking about Kahio Aloy because that's who plays right field for Arkansas. Yeah. And listen, Razorback baseball is going to be fine, folks. They lost a 1-run game down in Arlington to the number 10 team in the country. Like, they're going to be okay. I get it. You want to win them all, but they're going to be fine.
They get Texas Tech tomorrow.
Yep, Texas Tech at 2:30 tomorrow.
And they stink. So,
yeah.
They haven't looked good these last 2 games. Arkansas should handle that. Big Tuna on the mound, I think.
That's right.
So, yeah, it'll be fun. And then handle your business Monday. You leave there 3-1. You're fine.
Easy.
Lanky says, enjoyed being back in Bud. Billy picked a click with 21+. Love it. Glad you're able to be back in Bud Walton Arena. Billy's always got to be the pick to click, man. It's either him or Darius Acuff. Yeah, like you just know what you're going to get on a night-to-night basis, and you got a lot from both of them in this basketball game. So good times.
Let me ask you real quick. I just on your opinion on something.
Okay.
Billy Richmond right now, at least according to my numbers here, is averaging a little over 9 points a game right now.
Okay.
How much do you think he ends the season with averaging?
Oh man. 11.5.
I'd take that. If he gets double digits, I'll take that all day long.
I feel like, and he's a guy who's going to have his classic Billy games where he gets 8 points, but he does everything else. And you're like, wow, man, he was great. But I just feel like he's reaching that point where he's going to average, is it crazy to think like 14 or something the rest of the way? And then he'll get to that point. He's getting more touches, getting more looks. Teams will adjust a little bit, but will they though? Because nothing's changed with Billy. Like you said, they were screaming driver, driver, driver. And it just didn't matter. So I think he'll definitely get into double digits, but I could see him getting up over 11 or so. And that's impressive to have that kind of change this late in the season.
Yeah. Well, hopefully if he continues to drive, it means he's going to get fouled more. You got to get the free throw line. He's shooting, I think, 76% from the free throw line. So, I mean, it's not bad. So, yeah, I'm all for it. I'd love it.
Heck yeah. Ryan, hell, why not? I'll be your Valentine, man. It's fine. I'm in.
Yeah, get you some of those chalky little hearts with the words on them. You remember those back in the day? The little,
those things were good. Those were fun. Peyton, our man, Peyton. Hope you're doing all right, dude. Says, could not be more thrilled with where the vibes are with this team compared to 2 weeks ago after Kentucky. Very, very good pig. Yes. They've graduated from the pretty good pigs to the very good pigs. And yeah, the vibes are a lot higher. The Kentucky game stunk, man, for like a million different reasons. And I do feel like it got exacerbated by the fact that we had to sit around for a week before we could see him play again. But it's hard to overlook that game at this point. But taken into the bigger context here, you've won 6 of 7 games in SEC play. That Kentucky one being the loss that was mixed in there. But you've got 3 road wins during that time. You got a 25-point win over Vanderbilt. You got a double-digit win over Auburn. They've done some really good things here lately. Could you just imagine how we'd feel if they wouldn't have, pissed the bed against Kentucky there? Whatever. I'm happy with where they're at, though, for sure.
Had to go to Camp Cal, man. Just had to go to Camp Cal. That's all it took.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right. A few more super chats here. We're working our way through them, and then we'll call it a night. Paddlefish says, "Free Will Bill." Sure.
Free him from what though? Like, I mean, he's getting he's getting playing time. He's played 36 minutes tonight. So
he's been freed. The shackles are off that man. He no longer has a leash. He's got the full green light. He can do whatever he wants to out there, as far as I care.
Yep, exactly.
Austin Paul's a new member. We appreciate you. Glad that you're here. Sharkansas, there he is. Says, haven't watched the game yet. Just supporting the guys. Sharkansas in Arlington. Maybe.
Actually, I don't know if he might be. I know he lives down there in the Texas,
right,
with Austin, but yeah, he might be. I don't know.
It's either that or he was cuffed up for Valentine's and couldn't watch the game. So this would be one that I would recommend going and watching. Appreciate the support. I'm gonna be anxious to hear some of your takes. I know he likes to dig into the numbers and everything. So
yeah, at minimum, we'll just watch War Machine's highlights because he just put them up a little bit ago. So yeah, you can check that out at the minimum.
Good. That'll do the trick. That'll do the trick for sure. Stephen Taylor says, Bully Goat. Had to go off for my first game in my Billy jersey. Let's go. Woo Pig Suey. Didn't get my John in the bathroom moment, but that's okay. There's nest time.
There's just a lot of things happening in there, but yeah, sorry. Fun fact, I did not use the bathroom in Bud Walton tonight. I went to the bathroom before and afterwards. So sorry, there's no opportunities, but next time, nest time, whatever.
Oh, Mr. KP33. First time in Fayetteville was a success. Good. Glad you made it. Says, let's go. Only thing that could have made it better would have been to see John run up some stairs. They're on your head, man. Listen, there's nothing quite like a John Nabors stair run.
Man, I'm just going to tell you right now, Curtis, when I left to get back for the post game, I sprint. You saw where I was sitting.
You went all the way up those?
Full sprint. And I heard somebody say, go, 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 go. Like it was running up. So I was like, man, I really now, because again, it's just by habit. But I'm like, dude, I hope somebody tells Curtis, like, hey, I saw John sprinting up, and I didn't fall. So yeah, I did sprint up. I'm sorry you didn't see it, Mr. KP, but it did happen. I sprinted the stairs.
I've got a lot of great memories from our NCAA tournament experience in Providence. Most of them involve John running upstairs. It's crazy, especially the place that we wound up staying after we couldn't stay where we intended to, and it was this whole mess. But I don't know how you did it, because that stairwell leading up to the door was pitch black at all times, and you just sprinted up those stairs and didn't miss a beat, man. It's crazy. But
like Jordan shooting the free throw with the eyes closed, man. I can just know where those steps are at.
Kaylin, Upig 23, new member. Thank you. Appreciate that. Glad that you're here. Want to pull this one up real quick from Ben. He says, John, did you hear that the Flow Sports commentators shouted you out, but they called you Josh?
I think that they were probably referring to Josh Nabors, who I assume. I did not hear that, but I don't think it was me. I think it was probably a guy that actually is named Josh Nabors, formerly of the Buzz. But no.
But would he get a shout out though?
Well, that's the thing. But why would I get a shout out? That's the thing.
Why do people know that you run up the stairs and have weird interactions in bathrooms? I mean, crazy things happen with you.
Yeah, maybe they were mad at me because it's like I left Arlington. They're like, oh, he's not a fan. He doesn't like baseball. I don't know. But if Ben, give me some more context. Just DM me so I can know if that was actually about me or not. But thanks for letting me know.
We'll have to go. We'll have to go check that one out. Maybe we can put it in the intro if Flow Sports will allow it. So, Kaylin, who just became a member, says that Acuff 3 off the inbound was like, damn, what can I do? Yeah, I mean, it's not just about making the 7-3s. It's like every one that he made, he did it in a different way, and that was just incredible.
Yeah,
I'm getting annoyed that I'm running out of words to describe Darius Acuff, and I also because you're right, he does these things, and we're just kind of like, well, man, we got to talk about Billy because we haven't really seen this. Acuff, we're just getting used to it. Try not to though, because this is special, and like I'm super, super excited about Jordan Smith Jr. coming in here to replace him next year, and he's gonna be awesome. He's a different kind of player. He's gonna be a star as a freshman, but truly, what we're witnessing right now is special. We haven't had too many like this dude before, and so enjoy every moment that you have with him because this dude is terrific.
Yeah, and just again, enjoy it, understand it, but that's the thing is, you can't say anything more about him. In fact, hopefully it doesn't happen. But the only time we'll ever really talk about it is if he only goes for 10 points in a game. Like, dude, what happened? It's like hopefully that doesn't happen. But yeah, it's like when he went for 31, I was just like, cool, okay, great, good job. But that's just how amazing he is. So just enjoy it and don't take it for granted, folks.
Yeah, and part of it's his fault too, because he's so good and so consistent, but he's also just so even keeled.
Yep,
at all times. So you never even think about it. He's we go about the business because he goes about his business. But from Jacobs, member for a month, thank you, says Stephen Pearl is prime example of Nepo hire. How long does he get until he gets let go? We would need to talk to Quinn because I don't know all the inner workings over there at Auburn. I'm not sure how excited everyone was over there for how that happened with Bruce taking him up to practice and then stepping down at the time that he did. And like they left him with no choice but to give Stephen the job. How involved was the administration in knowing that beforehand? Like, I just don't know the answers to all that. But what I do know, that they probably would have attracted some good names for that job and some more qualified names. Frankly, it doesn't mean Stephen Pearl can't do a good job. I think in ways he's done a good job this year, but they're in trouble here, man. I mean, this is 4 losses in a row for them, and they've got a talented team. This Keyshawn Hall thing's not the first run-in he's had either, John. It's like he wasn't starting Pettiford for the longest because he was being a knucklehead, and Overton they benched for a game because he was late for breakfast or something. Like, there's all these discipline issues. They've got Mississippi State on the road Wednesday. Should be fine. You never know. You could get Hubbarded. It's always a possibility. But then they close the year. I think he's going to be okay. They got at Mississippi State. They get Kentucky at home. That'll be an interesting one. At Oklahoma, which they've won a couple in a row now. They're playing better. Ole Miss at home, LSU at home, and they close the year at Alabama. They might go. I mean, they could go 3-3 there. I don't know if they make the tournament. If they do that, I don't know, man.
And if you don't make the tournament, yeah, that's bad news. And I'm not saying this is exactly what's happening with Pearl, but it kind of gives a vibe. I feel like he's just, if this keeps going, it's like he's almost trying so hard to be the guy and say, oh, no, I'm going to do this and establish myself. That's how it comes across. I don't know if it's true or not, but yeah, that's just how it feels right now.
Yeah, it's wild stuff, man. Couple more here. Nick, who's become a YouTube member. I like this. We're getting a lot of people who are joining us on Valentine's Day. Love is in the air, and right. you can spread that any way that you want. I don't feel good about what I just said. Anyway, Big Shasta again. Final one here says, "What happened to Bubba Hogg? Need that energy. You know that you remember that fella."
Oh yeah, I remember Bubba Hogg. He had the mullet with the hat, and he take his vest off to the NFL Today song and dance around, let his belly shake. Pretty sure he's an attorney. So now, fun fact. So I don't know. Maybe one day he'll make a return, but it's been quite a long time. I feel like the energy was good. I don't know if when I was doing the clips, if you talk about the crowd, but I thought the energy was pretty good, all things considered.
Yeah, I was worried about it, like literally up until tip. And it wound up being a good amount of people in there. It wasn't a sold out crowd, but it was a strong crowd. But it was just a little bit lifeless in there. I thought Auburn made it weird. Their warm-ups didn't make sense to me. And they stayed out there. They lingered. And then eventually they were trying to come out and do the national anthem. And Auburn wound up staying out there, which, hey, good for you. And they stood out there, lined up, respectful, everything like that. But we just don't see too many teams do that anymore. And then they ran back into the locker room. And then they come out with like under a minute left. It was just a weird deal with them. And it was kind of the same thing before the start of the second half. I don't know what they were doing, but I just felt like it made it a little bit weird at the time. And but it filled in nicely.
Yeah.
It filled in nicely. I thought the crowd was into it. There were a couple periods there where there was a lull, but when Arkansas was making their run there in the second half to get separation, like it was crazy in there. When Billy was doing the things he was doing. Yes, it was crazy in there. So it was pretty solid, I would say, overall. And I mean, we don't have that many home games left.
Sad.
A&M, Texas, Missouri. Is that it?
That's it.
Don't need to lose again at home.
No, that's in fact not just not lose, but like win pretty like double digits the rest of the way is what will all make me feel good.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I like the way that sounds. Nick, who just became a member, thank you for the super chat, says, show of hands, who showed up to troll KSR's postgame today? Nobody. Okay, why are there still Kentucky fans trolling in the chat? I will tell you why there are Kentucky fans trolling in the chat, because they have nothing better to do. It's getting weird. Like at some point, because I understood it for a while, and then you got 2 years later, you got your win over John Calipari. That's probably a good time to get your gloating out of the way. Hey, you earned it. You won that game. Good for you. But then it's like you had a team that was playing for first place in the league today, and half your fan base was in my mentions on Twitter instead of watching that basketball game. At some point, you will feel better about things when you stop using John Calipari as the measuring stick for your program. He's here now. Don't worry about what we've got going on. You beat him, right? So you got that off your back. It was probably hard for you last year or whatever. You've got your program. You're doing what you're doing. Arkansas is doing what they're doing. I really think you would enjoy life a lot better if you just watched your basketball team But for whatever reason, they can't let go of John Calipari. And I engaged a lot with Kentucky fans on Twitter last night because it's like Cal gets the number 2 prospect in the country, John. And all I've got in my comments is BBN, like, well, he's not going to do anything with it.
Yep.
All that. And he won 1 title. And it's just shade after shade after shade. And I'm like, y'all haven't, you have 1 national title since the flash drive was invented. And John Calipari brought that to you. And you're throwing constant shade at him, and it's just wild to me, man. But to each their own, I guess.
Yeah, big Valentine's Day. It's always tough with your, some people call it Singles Awareness Day, and I think Kentucky fans are feeling like it's Single Awareness Day, and they're just jealous and hate the fact that their ex-girlfriend's happier and in a better spot. But yeah, I'm with you. Hey, the only reason Kentucky's even relevant this millennium is because of Calipari. Because if you weren't, you'd be just another like Indiana. Because you guys have been very relevant. So just enjoy the time that you've had with them and move on. And because we moved on, maybe you're trying to get it in because of how long you went with that loss last year. But
it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Again, everything's fine over here. Y'all are doing fine. We'll see you when we see you, and we'll see you if we meet up again. And maybe the game will be a little bit different. We'll see.
That's right. For now, we will look down at you in the SEC standings. So
that's right.
Congratulations on your January win. John, thank you, man, for hanging out, for filling in. You did a great job. That's like a pinch hit home run. That's Charlie Welch type of stuff that you pulled off here. So a job well done for sure. Any parting wisdom as we get out of here for the night that you have to share with Razorback fans for the basketball game that we just witnessed? Any Valentine's Day, any relationship advice you want to pass out there? Anything you would like to get off your chest before we call it a day?
Okay, that relationship advice, absolutely under no circumstances. Like, that would be awful. But no, I just appreciate everybody tapping in. And again, things are going good. I know Razorback baseball lost tonight, but it's going to be fine. So be sure to check out Andrew's Bombastic. He's down there getting the job done. And I know we'll have more Pod at the Palace coverage recapping this game for tomorrow. So just subscribe to us. We really appreciate it. Hopefully everybody had a happy Valentine's Day, and hopefully everyone has a great rest of your weekend. It's going to be awesome.
There you go. Ditto to everything that John just said. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Enjoy the rest of your night, whatever that may hold, you degenerates. Make sure you check out the Bombastic's going to come out for Andrew. He's working hard down there in Arlington. And yes, we will have the report card out for you tomorrow morning, and all of our coverage at Inside Arkansas. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Find us wherever you find your podcasts in audio form. But we're out of here for the night. For John Nabors, it's been Curtis Wilkerson with Inside Arkansas on the Pod at the Palace. Razorbacks win again, 88-75 over Auburn. Got a little bit of revenge. We'll see what it looks like for Alabama next week. We'll talk about it on the show in the morning. You guys have a good one.